Hi everyone! Today's topic is quadratic equations. So, what is a quadratic equation? It's an equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. But a shouldn't be equals to 0. However, b and c can be 0 in case of incomplete quadratic equation. So, let's see which of these equations is quadratic. So first one, x squared minus 2x plus 3 is equals to 0 is quadratic equation because you have x squared. It's easy, yeah? So let's see the second one. 48x squared minus 2x cubed minus 9 equals to 0. You also have x squared here. Look at this. You have x cubed, which is greater than x squared. So that means that it's not quadratic equation. The third one, 2.1x squared plus 2x minus 2 over 3 equals to 0. It's just quadratic equation. Regular x squared, so everything works fine. The fourth one, x squared minus 1 over x squared equals to 0, looks like it's also quadratic equation. You have x squared. However, you have division by x squared in this one. And how to solve this equation? You need to multiply the whole equation by x squared. What happens in this case? You will have x to the power of 4, which is greater, much more greater than x squared. So that one is not quadratic equation. And the last one in this column, 3 minus x times x equals to 0. Looks like this one is not quadratic. However, if you multiply it, you will have quadratic equation. So the next one, 2x squared equals to 0, is the easiest quadratic equation because of x squared. So here you have b equals to 0 and c equals to 0, yes, which means that you have incomplete quadratic equation, and a equals to 2. So next one, 3 minus 12x squared, it's also quadratic equation because you also has the x squared. The greatest power for x is 2. So what is here equals to 0? Coefficient b is equals to 0. 3 is your coefficient c, and negative 12 is your coefficient a. So, and let's see 8. 3x squared minus 10x equals to 0. So here is also quadratic equation. Coefficient a equals to 3, coefficient b equals to negative 12, and c, we don't have any c here, so c equals to 0. So all these three equations, 6, 7, and 8, it's incomplete quadratic equation. We call these three equations incomplete. Why it's incomplete? Because you don't have some a's, you don't have some b's or c here. So you always have coefficient a, but in some of your equations b equals to 0, in some of your equations c equals to 0, or like in 6 one, both b and c equals to 0. Let's see 9 minus x squared equals to 0. It's also a quadratic equation, incomplete quadratic equation, yes. So, but what is your coefficient a here? Can it be minus? No, it can't be minus. To be honest, your a here equals to negative 1, because negative 1 times x squared would be negative x squared, gives you negative x squared. So here your b and c both equals to 0. It looks like 6, yeah? So, and the last one, 2x minus 13 equals to 5x plus 7. Can you simplify your equation to get quadratic one? No, you can't. It's just linear equation. So let's see the next example. We need to state all the coefficients in the quadratic equations below. That means that we need to state what is our a, b, and c. So what does the coefficient a mean? Let's recall we have quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So what is a? A is a coefficient with x squared. With x squared here we have 5, so our a equals to 5. What would be coefficient b next one? It should be close to the x. Here with x is a number 7. So that means that b equals to positive 7. And c is just a number. So what is a number in our first equation? Looks like it's 12, yeah? But you need to remember about your sign. Your sign belongs to the number. So c equals to negative 12. Awesome. So let's see the next quadratic equation. X squared minus 5 plus 2x equals to 0. What would be coefficient a? What is it with x squared? Nothing? No, it's just 1, because 1 times x squared would be x squared. So next coefficient b. B not should be minus 5. Is it true? No, it's not true. Why it's not true? Because b is coefficient with x. What is with x here? It's 2, positive 2. So actually b equals to 2. And minus 5, it's your coefficient c. So let's see the next one. Minus 5 plus 7x squared equals to 0. So what is a here? A is coefficient with x squared, which means that our a equals to 7. What would be b? B is a coefficient with x. Do we have x here? No, we don't have. So b equals to 0. And minus 5, again, it's your c. So let's see next column. Equation 4, 9x squared minus 10x equals to 0. What's your coefficient a? It's easy, yeah? It's 9. So what's your coefficient b? Is it 10? It's negative 10, you're right. And do you have c? No, you don't. So c equals to 0. C equals to 0. Okay, let's see the last example. Here, 5x squared equals to 0. We have just one coefficient here with x squared, which is 5. And you don't have any b or c there. So that means that b and c equals to 0 here. So let's see the next example. We need to rewrite each of these equations as a quadratic equation. We have three equations here, so let's start with rewriting the first one. How to simplify the first one? You can multiply 3x by each of the monomial in parentheses. 3x times x would be 3x squared, so that 3x times negative 2 would be negative 6x, and plus 5 equals to 0. What will we get? We get complete quadratic equation. So let's see the next one. Next one, we have 2x minus 1 times 2x plus 1 equals to x times 2x plus 3. 2x minus 1 times 2x plus 1 looks familiar, isn't it? So what is that? Let's recall a special product formula. A minus b times a plus b, which is equals to a squared minus b squared. So the same in our equation. Our a is 2x and our b is 1. So we can rewrite this like 4x squared minus 1 equals to. And right side we can just simplify it. So let's see, x times 2x equals to 2x squared plus x times 3 would be plus 3x. So, and actually we can simplify to remove everything in the left side. It would be 2x squared minus 3x minus 1 equals to 0. Yeah, again we have complete quadratic equation. We have all three coefficients a, b, and c. And the last one, the last equation, 3x plus 2 to the second power equals to x plus 2 times x minus 3. Again, we have special product formula. A plus b squared equals to a squared plus b squared and plus 2ab. So let's rewrite it in our equation. Our a here is 3x, so it would be 9x squared. Our b here is 2, so plus 4 and plus 2 times 3x times 2 which equals to 12x. So it's a left side. Right side, we can just multiply two polynomials. So let's see the first curl line, x times x, it would be x squared. The second one, x times negative 3, it would be minus 3x plus 2 times x, it's 2x, and 2 times negative 3 would be negative 6. Also, we can simplify this equation. So let's see, it would be 8x squared. What happened with x's? Let's see. It would be 13x plus 13x and plus 10 equals to 0. Again, we get complete quadratic equation. Next example, which of these numbers are the roots of our three quadratic equations? So we have numbers -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2, and we have three quadratic equations. So let's check which of these numbers would be roots. For the first one, let's start with the first one. Let's check number -2. What does it mean to check it? We need to plug it in our equation. So we have -2 squared minus 5 times -2 and plus 6. So let's simplify it. -2 squared would be 4, minus 5 times -2 would be plus 10, and plus 6. So we see that we have here a positive number which is not equals to 0. Let's check number -1. -1 squared minus 5 times -1 plus 6, so which is equals to 1. Minus 5 times -1 equals to plus 5, and plus 6. Again, we have positive number which is not 0. Let's check 0. So we have 0 squared minus 5 times 0 and plus 6. Let's see, 0, 0, so just 6. 6 is not equals to 0. Let's try 1. So 1 squared minus 5 times 1 plus 6 equals to 1 squared would be 1. Yeah, so again we see that it's not equals to 0. And the last one, 2. So 2 squared minus 5 times 2 plus 6. 2 squared would be 4, minus 5 times 2 minus 10, and plus 6. So 4 plus 6, 10, 10 minus 10, 0. Ta-da! We get our root. So 2 is actually one of our roots. So let's check the second equation. X squared minus 1 equals to 0. Let's try the first. -2 squared minus 1 equals to 4 minus 1, which is not 0. Let's check -1. So -1 squared minus 1, it would be what? 1 minus 1, which is exactly equals to 0. Yeah, we got one root. So let's check 0. 0 squared minus 1 equals to, no, it doesn't equals to 0. And 1 squared minus 1, we have 0. So it's another root. And just in case, let's check 2. 2 squared minus 1, it would be 4 minus 1, which is not equals to 0. So we have two roots, 1 and -1 in this equation. So can you try to solve problem 3 independently? So it's not a big deal to check it independently. You should get just two roots here, and it should be 0 and 1. So I hope you get the same. So let's see the next problem. Next problem, we need to find what should be the value of a, so that 1 is a one root of your equation ax squared minus 2x plus 3 equals to 0. So this means that x1 equals to 1. It's your one root. So how to solve it? Let's plug it in. X equals to 1 in your equation. Try to do it. So we have a times 1 square, yeah? Let's see next. -2 times 1 and plus 3 equals to 0. So a times 1 square would be equals to just a. Minus 2 times 1 is just 2, and plus 3 equals to 0. So minus 2 plus 3 is pretty easy. So you have x plus 1 equals to 0, and your x equals to negative 1. So you already got the value of your a, so that one is one of your root in your equation. Thank you. Subscribe.